Oh, hint for this one, this is going to be a property of logs question. Yeah, a lot of people struggle with logs. Some classes don't teach it a whole lot, some classes don't test it a whole lot. We'll switch over here. So we've got 3 to the x minus 1 equals 4 to the 2x plus 5. If this were a 9, this would be a lot easier question. It kind of changes how we go about it. These two numbers can't be written in terms of like one of them to a power. Like, for example, 9 can be rewritten as 3 squared, right? And then we could go from there.
Oh, yeah.
Then we could go from there and we could do some easier things than what we're about to do. But there's a property of logs that lets us take these exponents down just like this. If we take the log of 3 to the x minus 1, now we can bring this down out front. So then we'd rewrite it like this. Is this starting to look a little familiar?
Yeah.
So we'll do the same thing on the right-hand side. And like I said, honestly, at this point, you can just do it like this. This only applies when we're doing logs. You can't just pull stuff down and make it the coefficient. That does not work in anything else. And this works with the log log as well as the ln, the natural log. Now this equation looks a little bit more approachable because we've got everything, it's not tied up in the exponent. And that is the only way, Ty, to bring down a variable that's in the exponent. So if you ever have something like this, 7 to the 2x equals 100, the only way you're going to be able to isolate that x is with this property of log. So if you see another question like this, just know that that's kind of testing that same skill. And that's the kind of stuff that comes up on your SAT, and that's the kind of question that people miss because logs aren't tested a whole lot, and it's one of those things that we can forget because we just don't use it a whole lot. It's definitely not something we use every day, right? Like you don't go to the store and get all excited because everything is log 2% off, right? It's not, it doesn't really present itself that often. So now that we've got everything kind of in line, we can now start to just distribute this if we want to. In general, we're going to approach this equation the same that we do every equation. We're going to try to get x to one side, right?
Okay.
So let's do that. So this is just multiplication between here and here, and now we're going to distribute that log 3. So then we'd have x times log 3 minus log 3 equals 2x log 4 plus 5 log 4. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add log 3 to both sides. Again, just trying to start to bring the x's together. I'm going to try to bring that and that to one side. So I'm going to start by getting rid of that. So now we've got x log 3 equals 2x log 4 plus 5 log 4 plus log 3. So now I'm going to subtract 2x log 4 from both sides. So then we end up with x log 3 minus 2x log 4 equals 5 log 4 plus log 3. So now we have the x's on one side and numbers on the other.
Okay.
So that's good. And here's the main reason why it's good. Because now we have an x in each one of these terms. We can pull that out. We can pull that out to the front. We say x times log 3 minus 2 log 4. And now we're one step away from getting this thing completely on its own, right? We just need to, since this is multiplication here, we would just need to divide this out, right? And the right side's still the same, so I'm just going to copy and paste that over here. And then what you can do, your last step will be x equals, and like I just said, we'll divide each side by this log 3 minus 2 log 4.
Okay.
So that whole thing will cancel, and then we'll just put it as the denominator on the right-hand side. So then your answer will look like 5 log 4 plus log 3 over log 3 minus 2 log. So most time, if you had this question as like short answer, I'll just leave it like this. But we do have an actual answer, number answer here that they want. If you hit alpha, y equals, you'll come up with this ND. That stands for the numerator and the denominator. hit enter, and that'll bring up this little box here. So we're just gonna type that in. We're just gonna 5 log 4 minus, it usually opens up a parenthesis for log stuff. Obviously you have to make sure those get closed up. Log 3 minus 2 log 4. And that's it. And we'll hit enter. And this is actually giving me not the right answer, it appears. Let's see if we made a mistake somewhere, so that hopefully when this kind of thing happens to you, you don't like freak out on a test. Are you a good test taker, Ty? I don't think we've talked about this.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's good. That's actually really good. A lot of students, I think, lose a lot of points because they just like, they get scared easily. And like, they just, for whatever reason, like their inclination is to give up or, you know, just kind of lose confidence in themselves rather than, you know, take a deep breath. Okay, what can we do here, right? Oh, you know what I did? I'm looking at this now. See this? That's supposed to be a plus. Oh, did you know that trick? If you scroll back and just hit enter, it'll pull that back. Dude, it was really surprising to me. Like when I started tutoring math, literally a 6th grader showed me that alpha y equals numerator denominator button. And I was just like, how do I have a college degree and I didn't know that? Yeah, 6th grader showed me that. So we're gonna change this to plus, and we get negative 4.8, answer D. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. In the meantime, I want to recommend that everybody take the summer to prep for SAT. It is a test that you are gonna have to take anyways if you're planning on going to college. And it's also a great cumulative review for all the math that you've had this far. That's math 1, 2, 3 if you're here in the Carolinas, or however your school district does it. SAT typically is a review of the entirety of high school algebra math. This is a great text. I've been recommending this since about 2017. What I recommend to students is that you set a timer. Don't use a calculator if they tell you it's calculator inactive. You will get as much out of this test as you put into it. These are great, and I think they're a fantastic resource. So you can expect to see plenty more content on SAT prep on this channel, and if that's something you're into, I'd encourage you to hit the subscribe button here, and there will be another video here that I'll link. In the meantime, I will see you guys in the next one. Later.